going on, everybody? Thank you for tuning into another edition of On the Road to Victory. I'm your host, Jimmy Smith, and I hope you're all having yourselves a great night. We're here. It's Tuesday night, and we're keeping the train rolling behind enemy lines. We're here, and we're talking about the Eagles' NFC Championship opponent, the San Francisco 49ers. Now, going to do a little twist on it today. So, as I show you the regular season stats, I will show you the Eagles as well. I will show you the Eagles postseason stats. Oh, throw a little bit of Eagle stuff in here so we can talk about this matchup. I know you guys are craving it. The top 10 matchups will be Thursday. Tomorrow, the initial injury report will get a lot more news on injuries for both teams. Hopeful for Avonte Maddox to be back for the Eagles. So keep you up to date with all that. Look out for that show tomorrow at 4:30. But tonight, we're here live, and we are behind enemy lines talking about the San Francisco 49ers. I will give you the stats from their regular season, the postseason, 2 games they've had. Take a look at their coaching staff, the roster, all their injuries, and then, of course, the depth chart at the end with all of those things added in. So, ladies and gentlemen, I appreciate each and every one of you. Let's get this thing rolling. If you have any questions, comments throughout this thing, you can always leave them down below. Appreciate you hitting that like button, subscribing to the channel. Truly appreciate each and every one of you. Let me take a gander at some of these comments here, and then we will jump right into this bad boy. But thank you to everyone who's tuning in. Hey, better early than Gurley. I don't know. Todd Gurley, don't retire, my man. That's all I meant. But hope you're doing well. Go Birds. Appreciate each and every one of you. I really do. Tonight, I've got a lot of information for you, so I'm going to throw it at you. Love to hear your thoughts on it, so leave whatever comments down below. Let's go, baby. Jock Talk, appreciate you tuning in, my man. Let's get it going. My dude, Drew, my man, Samuel, let's go. All about it. And then Mike joining us. How about them effing Birds? Yeah, they wanted to sleep on us, but I think they're awake now, baby, so let's go. Hope you're all ready to talk a little bit of Birds, but we're going to get to know the opponent just as we do each and every week here. We'll keep you up to date with everything you need to know throughout this week. We're going to be partying, celebrating. My man Tim in here. Let's go. Got to go 30 front this game, right? Got to go. Look, I think that we dictate these games, and I'm not afraid of what they do. One of the things we're going to get into is looking at their offense and everything throughout this show. So we will talk about all of those things. So appreciate you tuning in, my man. Shout out to Pod Road Trip, brother, at Drew. Oh, dude, love it. Let's go. All the Birds content. Let's go, Birds. Yo, Liz, I appreciate you taking the time to stop in and just say hi. Yo, and I appreciate you. And if you rewatch it or have a chance to, say something, it's awesome. But I'm just glad you're taking the time. Hope your week is off to a great start. And I am ready to have a heart attack already. Sunday needs to get here. I'm losing my mind. I'm truly losing my mind. And I'm just really glad that it's the first game, so I don't have to wait all effing day again, because I don't know if I'd be able to do it again. But appreciate you taking the time. Hope work is going well for you. But, yo, love it. Love it. All the Eagles content I can give you, I will do. But, love, I know you guys are thirsty for it. So let's go. Nina in here. Now we're talking. Hope you guys are ready to party. Nina, hope you and the family are doing well. Appreciate you. She did not. Talked about that yesterday. I was alive, made another video when I got back. So I am alive and well. And she's awesome. So we were all good there, man. But it was cool that she was in the chat. I really love that. Loved you guys showing her some love. Appreciate each and every one of you for doing that. She definitely appreciated that. But love to see the love being shared here now. Let's jump into this, ladies and gentlemen. You can keep your comments coming. Whatever you want to talk about, something else, you want to talk about this, whatever it may be, but let's get this train rolling, baby. So let's take a look at how both of these teams did this regular season, how they match up. And, well, the San Francisco 49ers are a pretty damn good team. So you see points per game, they were 6th, 26.5. They were 18th in total yards per game, rushing the ball 8th, and then they were 13th in passing. Now they had Jimmy G there, and obviously it was supposed to be Trey Lance. He's on IR now, and now you've got Brock Purdy. So a lot to, take this all with a grain of salt, as always, the numbers, but you can get a feel for it. Now, rush yards per attempt, 10th, passing yards per attempt, 4th, and yards per completion, 5th. So making it count when they do throw that ball. Sacks per game, they were 6th, only giving up 1.8 per game, tied for 3rd in interceptions thrown, and then just 3rd overall with turnovers per game. So a good offense, not turning the ball over. They can run on you, pass on you. We're going to take a look at that roster. We know it's stacked. And then you see the defensive side of the ball, a damn good defense. Number 1 in points, number 1 in total yards allowed, and you see they can dominate against you. Drew, I don't care. Tim, Liz, everybody wants to back them up. Run that damn ball regardless. I don't care. They were second against the run behind Tennessee, 77.7 yards per game, and second in yards per rushing attempt. So they're damn good against the run. Don't care. We have a much different team than most, and the offense we run, that shotgun RPO, we're going to shove it right down their effing throats. So I really think that, we're going to set up a lot of the passing game. And I talked about that last night. Their secondary, I think, is what we need to attack. And I think the Eagles know that too. And everyone knows that. You see here 20th in pass yards per game, but 11th in yards per attempt, 10th in yards per completion, tied for 10th in sacks per game with 2.6, and then tied for first in interceptions, tied for second in overall turnovers. So this team means business, ladies and gentlemen. But let me tell you about another team that means business, the Philadelphia Eagles. So we know we were missing our MVP quarterback. We're missing Lane Johnson, Avonte Maddox. We're missing CJ Gardner-Johnson, all those things. That's great. But this team still found ways to win and finish the season as the best team in the NFL. So regardless, take it all with a grain of salt. But you see these numbers here, 3rd in points, 3rd in total yards per game on offense, 5th in rushing, 9th in passing. And the one area we struggled, giving up sacks. That's something we got to be concerned about. You got to look out for Bosa against Mailata. A lot of things that we're going to talk about here throughout the week. But, taking a look at these numbers here, the Eagles got to clean it up, baby. And we only gave up 1 last week, I believe. So, hey, let's keep doing that. But you see here, interceptions, not really turning the ball over. And near the end of the season, we had some issues there. But for me, doing great. Tied for 4th at the end of the season, only 1.1 turnover per game. So the offense, we know it's a top 3 offense. We love it. Let's go. Defensive side of the ball, 8th in points allowed, 2nd in total yards allowed, tied for 16th against the run. We know they have been improving each week. Need to continue doing that, especially in the playoffs. And then you see passing yards per game, 1st. Passing yards per attempt, 1st. Yards per completion, 1st. And then they are number 1 in sacks, 4.1 per game. Holy shit. Interceptions per game, they're 5th. And then tied for 5th in total turnovers. So we know that on offense and defense, our team means business too. So look, a battle of the giants, man. Heavyweight battle here. And I'm pretty effing excited about it. Not going to lie to you. And look, this Eagles team, I think a lot of the media, they just don't like us. So they're going to continue, hating on us, and that's fine. That's fine, because we're about to wake them the hell up. And whoever wins in the AFC, they'll be like, oh yeah, they'll kick the Eagles' ass. Who cares? But love to see the love being shared. But yeah, she really, really is. And that night was too hilarious. I'm like, I really got to get going. And well, I did, because she was sitting there lurking, waiting for me. I love it. But yo, my man, when it comes, I appreciate you, dude. And I'm just here to try to help, try to give as much information as I can, hope that it helps you guys out. And I love hearing stuff like that, man. That's what I try to do. I dedicate most of my free time to doing this kind of stuff. So love it, man. Glad you get something from this. Going to try to give you as much information as I can tonight about this team. We'll go, and I'll kind of talk about the matchups, but I'll have that top 10 for you on Thursday. Do not worry. Once we get a little more feel of how the injuries are going, what's going down, I'll let you know. But let's go Birds, my man. Jock Talk, run that damn ball. You know it. So I love to see it. But my man, hey, better late than never. Better than the girly comment I made. Jesus. Tyree, my man. Appreciate you, though, dude. Hope you're having a great night. Best in the league O-line. Exactly. And that's one thing I talked about last night. I don't give a shit. Every team we played this week, they're great against the run. Don't care. We have the best offensive line. Now they struggle against the pass. But when it comes to running the ball, that's our bread and butter, baby. So, yep, I'm with you, Mike. Run that damn ball. Run the damn ball. Most of the teams, 49ers losses, running quarterbacks. Yes, we talked about that as well. And that Russell Wilson is no Jalen Hurts. I don't care about what anybody who wants to trade Jalen Hurts for Russell Wilson says. No. Not even in the same category, ladies and gentlemen. So, best of luck to this defense and that secondary. They have some injuries. We'll see that here in a second. How are we looking at the 49ers? Any concerns? No, I am not concerned at all. Yes, indeed. Said a bunch already, but we keep the pressure. Yeah, man, for sure. And look, I can't stress it enough. We talked about it the day that we beat them. I talked about it before we even knew who it would be. Niners or Cowboys. Talked about how we match up with both those teams. I'm not worried about either. So you're preaching to the choir here, ladies and gentlemen. I'm sticking to my Super Bowl prediction. I really think we steamroll the Niners. And then if the Bengals or the Chiefs want to come get some, oh, well, please do. I'm going to enjoy every second of it. But let's take a look at how these teams are faring in the postseason. Now, the Niners had 2 games, whereas obviously the Eagles only had 1 because of the bye. So first up, we'll take a look at the Niners, their first game in that wild card round against the Seattle Seahawks. You'll see here they put up 41 points, 505 yards of offense. Holy but we all know the Seattle defense is kind of atrocious. So they've got some young studs on there, but they kind of suck. So 181 rushing yards, 324 passing yards, and their secondary is very terrible. You see, though, only giving up 1 sack. That's great. And not turning the ball over. That is something that the Niners do well. Then on the defensive side of the ball, they gave up 23 points to the Seahawks, 332 yards, 104 rushing. That's great that they held them to 104. And then passing 228. 3 sacks that they got, and then 1 interception, 1 fumble recovery, and 2 turnovers total there. So had a good game and beat the hell out of the Seahawks. It was close at first from what I remember, but then, got away from them in the second half. Then that Cowboys game, much different game, a defensive game. Put up 19 points, 300 total yards plus 113 rushing, 199 passing, gave up 2 sacks and fumbled the ball once there. The defensive side of the ball only gave up 12 points, 282 yards, held them to 76 rushing. And now look, Pollard went out, so that's unfortunate, but he is much better than Ezekiel Elliott at this point. And then passing 206 they gave up to Dak. So they did pretty well. Had 1 sack, 2 interceptions there. So this defense, they get turnovers, not the greatest in sacks, but that our team struggles, so you got to watch out for that. Now, let's take a look at how the Eagles did in their first game here in the playoffs, and then, you see compared to how they did the season. I mean, this team just continues to dominate. 38 points, held them to 7, put up 416 yards, 268 rushing, the second most in Eagles playoff history, 148 passing yards. Gave up 1 sack, but no turnovers. Oh, hell yeah. Defensive side of the ball, this is something I like to talk about here at the bottom, the turnover. The Giants did not turn the ball over much this season, so that was great. They got an interception. That was something Daniel Jones did not do. They were number 1 in the league there, so that was great to see. Only gave up 109 passing yards and 118 rushing. That is insane, and a lot of that garbage. So garbage time stats, and this team, they put a hurting on them. That drive that they slowly, methodically ran the ball, they did that because the Eagles were playing as if they were going to try to catch up. So it's kind of like they were tapping out in the third quarter. So, hush, that's fine. I probably would have too. They are just not a good team. So we talked about that one before that game. And I think here, a much better team, a much tougher opponent. They're going to come in here, and they know who Jalen Hurts is. D'Amico Ryans is a great defensive coordinator. And speaking of D'Amico Ryans, let's talk about this 49ers coaching staff. So we know Kyle Shanahan here. We talked about him the last couple of days. And, I think, a genius here. And the dude runs the offense as well. He's got D'Amico Ryans as his defensive coordinator, and then Brian Schneider, not to be confused with my best friend Brian Schneider. But look, I'll be real with you. This team, it's a great story. 49ers, I love it, man. Yes, D'Amico Ryans. I want him to get a head coaching job, Shanahan, doing his thing. Fantastic. But guess what? I like the Eagles story just a little bit better. I like Nick Sirianni. I love Jonathan Gannon. I love Shane Steichen. I think that this staff, still very young, is going to surprise a lot of people for years to come. And it's not likely that we can, are able to retain everyone. But I think Sirianni continues to grow, and it's going to be great battle of the young offensive-minded coaches. And then the new defensive coordinators, D'Amico Ryans, Jonathan Gannon, both trying to get head coaching jobs. So they're going to see what their defenses can bring to the table. I'm excited. Steichen is going to see what he can do against Ryans, Shanahan versus Gannon. So it's going to be some great stuff. We'll talk about all of that. Oh, yeah, the top matchup is going to be great. But we'll continue talking about it throughout this as we take a look at this roster. Now, if you haven't seen this show before, I go position by position. We look at who's the starters, who the backups are, who's on IR. And then as we get to the end, I will show you all of it as a depth chart so you can see it as a whole. Who's the backup here? If this guy's out, who's playing for him, blah, blah, blah. You get the drift there. But let's go. Run that damn ball. Yeah, he's throwing it in the chat. Love to see it. Let's go. Barely beat us last year. Don't even bring that up. I love that clip earlier, if you guys saw, from Cox and Graham. Yo, I don't care, man, about anything. And like Liz says here, yo, they remember that kind of stuff. I think this team is going to be hungry and they're going to feast on this team. So look, they haven't respected us all effing year, Liz. And preseason, okay, I get it. They didn't understand the defense. They don't know how the cap works. They didn't believe Jalen Hurts could develop. Okay. But once you finally see Howie in action, then you see Hurts go beyond developing at an MVP level in his second year as a starter. That's just being a hater at that point. So let them keep hating. We'll keep educating. Oh, see how that just slid in there. Let's go. But I agree with you. 49ers losing 4 games in middle court. Yeah, exactly. We talked about that earlier. Someone mentioned, yeah, we talked about that the other day. Yes. And Jalen Hurts is different than any quarterback. He can actually throw and run the ball. And, people complain about shotgun RPO, this, that, the other thing. And it's like, dude, that's the bread and butter here. Think about that as a defensive coordinator or just the middle linebacker, like watching that, like, son of a bitch. Like, okay, RPO coming. Is he handing it? Is he running it? Is he passing it? Like, just that in itself. You've got so much going on with the line that you've got a amazing tight end, amazing wide receivers, a great running back. It's like, well, best of luck to them, dude. They're going to have a nightmare indeed. I have a lot of confidence in Jalen Hurts and this team. Last year versus the Niners, BG got hurt. We still should. Yeah, man, for sure. And he's going to come back, and he's going to be, bro, he's comeback player of the year this year. He's been phenomenal. 11 sacks in the regular season. Let's effing go. Dominance. I love the word, and I think I agree 100%. So, I don't know. And look, we're third in NFL history with 70 sacks, and we broke NFL history with 4 players, Brandon Graham being one of those, 10 plus sacks for 4 players. No team in NFL history has ever done that. That's insane. So, bro, no one likes us. We don't care, right? But it is annoying. I get it. Trust me. But F them, dude. F them. We're going to prove it to them this Sunday. But they've always hated us. In my 36 years of existence, this is always how it's been. This is why my dad always wanted me to do this. He's like, you got to get out there, because not only are they morons, but they hate us. So it's like, all right, well, it's time to bring you someone educated who's going to dust you with your little, and their narratives. I destroyed them. And if you guys follow me on social media, I go after those people. You're going to talk slander. You better know what you're talking about, because, I'm going to come for you. But let's get into this, ladies and gentlemen. Let's take a look at the San Francisco 49ers. Brock Purdy, great story, winning 6 games. Oh, yeah. Don't care. I really don't. We talk about it, him trying to throw outside on our corners. And if we get Avonte Maddox back, that's great. But you've got CJ Gardner-Johnson. You've got Reed Blankenship, Josiah Scott. You will play, musical chairs there. But you've got the versatility. We can get things done. But Brock Purdy here, we talked about taking away the run game, making it one-dimensional, putting the game in his hands in Philadelphia. And I think that could be really nuts. And this kid, look, again, I've said it all week, a great story. It really is. And I'm happy for him. And, so it's a system quarterback. And honestly, you can't just say that anyone could come in and play it. But he's in the NFL for a reason. So great job for him to go into that system and be able to do that. But you saw Jimmy Garoppolo doing it. You saw, a guy that I couldn't believe people were saying trade Jalen Hurts for Jimmy Garoppolo. Like, what are you smoking, dude? Joe. But, dude, this kid, he's going against the Eagles defense now. They have not faced a defense like this. And honestly, when that pass rush comes at him, they've got Trent Williams. That's great. But McGlinchey on the other side, and we talked about that interior, tacking that interior. I think you got the rookie right guard. You're going to see this Eagles defense coming at you, dude. So I know Seth Joyner and people are going to tell you, like, well, you got to blitz everybody on every play, and that's how we're going to beat them. And it's like, that's literally the dumbest thing I've ever heard. So one of the things you're going to know about this team as we keep looking at it is the running backs. I made it a little different. I threw the fullback in here because he really is part of this effing offense. They run him a lot. Kyle Juszczyk can be used in a plethora of ways, out of the backfield, catching the ball. I mean, so many things. So they've got Christian McCaffrey, obviously, through that trade this year. We all know how talented he is. And then you've got Elijah Mitchell. That's a great backup to have. So 3 really talented running backs there. And then you've got Mason and Davis Price as depth pieces. But this offense, they use a fullback. And a lot of the times I didn't even put a third receiver because their slot receiver, Jawan Jennings, he's not out there all the time. They sometimes will use him, and same with Ray McLeod. I'm not saying they're not in this offense, but really when you talk about starters, it's two receivers, a fullback, a tight end. That's how they're coming at you. So I think a lot more of the four-man fronts, and a lot of the times we run a lot of quarters, right? So you're going to have a lot of man coverage on these guys. And I think that's a smart thing to do. And I think your front four has to take care of business like they do. And then when you have that quarters defense, you've got three in the middle there that are down low. So you got to be able to execute. You got to be able to wrap people up and tackle. Like that was one of the things that was killing me earlier in this season. So with this team, these are all effing playmakers here. So you saw Samuel, you saw Ayuk, you saw Christian McCaffrey, Juszczyk, and now, of course, George Kittle, who is one of the best tight ends in the game. And look, these guys will come at you in a plethora of ways. And if they get that ball in their hands, they can effing make plays. So, this defense needs to bring it, and they got to execute because Gannon's going to bring a great game plan. We just got to be able to execute. So you've got Kittle here with Croft, Dwelly, and Werner there. Jordan Matthews on IR, but wild to see him still in the league. Good for him. And then the offensive line that we've been talking about, Trent Williams, Aaron Banks, Brendel, Buford, and McGlinchey here. So, look, we talk about the Philly man, Mike McGlinchey. Best of luck to you with Sweat, Reddick. However we come at you, Trent Williams, going to be fun to watch. Reddick and Sweat going at him. But look, this offensive line, pretty damn good. And I've talked about going after the interior. Trent Williams is one of the best left tackles in the game. If not, I think he is. You're pretty sure. So this dude, he's pretty damn good. We remember him with the Commanders. And look, you got to do everything you can to get pressure on Brock Purdy, shut down this run game, and I think this Eagles team will flourish. So for me, I know that they've got talent is an understatement. They've got some of the best football players. I love Christian McCaffrey. I love Deebo Samuel, George Kittle. Brandon Ayuk is awesome too. So look, you have to match up. You have to execute. Slay, bring your A game. Bradbury, bring your A game. I really think they will. CJ Gardner Johnson, Kaiser White, TJ Edwards. We're going to be using so many ways to disguise because they're going to be trying to do so many things to just get the ball into these guys' hands because they know short, quick little plays can get after us. And if we are not executing, not tackling, that could be a struggle. So got to clean that up. We cannot have issues with tackling this week. We cannot do that at all. But hey, he is truly the MVP, and he's going to lead us to victory. And look, they are. And I think that, it's just a bunch of haters looking to, get their clicks and this and that. And they were doing it this offseason. And I'm going to keep taking them to the woodshed until we are all laughing at them February 12th. And then we'll continue laughing at them at the parade and, for the entire offseason. So, I hope they're ready. You wanted to tell me whatever it was before the season. Don't forget. Oh, I didn't. Don't worry. I didn't. Give me a break here. Right, Liz? I talked about this the other day. Like, good effing luck. You think you're putting up 19 points and beating the Eagles? Yeah, okay, buddy. Best of luck to you. And I know people are like, oh, well, let's see the Eagles put up 20 points on them. And it's like, okay. I think, okay, I'll take your money if you would like. I think we'll easily do that. And I think it could definitely be like a 34-20 kind of game, but that's not my prediction yet. But I'm feeling in that range, man. And I think that this Eagles offense is unstoppable, man. So that's great. They are a great defense, but Jalen Hurts is effing phenomenal. So, yeah, Brock Purdy, great story. Fantastic. Don't care. Wait till you meet Jalen Hurts. That's what pisses me off. This kid is playing lights out after he could never develop. He's the worst quarterback. They trade him. All effing off season. It's all we heard. He comes out here. Lights effing out, dude. You don't hear shit. And like they're forced to at times when he just has phenomenal games and wins, player of the week, player of the month, things like that. And they can't resist it. And they're like, damn it. No. And it's like, really, dude? Really? And then Brock Purdy comes along, has a few good games in a system as a system quarterback. And we got to hear about him as the next effing Joe Montana. So, I can't wait to beat his ass. I really, really can't. Do I think Sermon can help with giving us? No. He was on their squad last year. Then the beginning of this year, I don't think that would be really helpful. I mean, he could bring you some insight, but it's insight that Nick Sirianni is already pretty much going to know. And look, you'll take whatever you can get. So you want to hear some insight on Elijah Mitchell? Sure. But he's not going to know much about Brock Purdy, and he didn't play with Christian McCaffrey. So, yeah, I don't think it's going to be very helpful. He's not like a defensive-minded like coach or anything. So Niners has a lot of smoke and mirrors. Yeah, man, for sure. And so do we. And we have a lot on defense, too. And that's why I talk about how much I love this defense. And I think we're going to get Brock Purdy rattled. When you disguise your defense as well, everybody was furious that we signed Hassan Reddick and he can't play Sam. They don't even know what a Sam linebacker is. And it's like, no, he will drop into coverage like 7-8% of the time, which is what he did this year. And bro, it's about disguising. And look at 18 sacks. Like, he's still going to rush the quarterback. So that's what it's all about. And I think that kid, he's going to have a tough time with Hassan Reddick. Now, wait to see the Eagles 4-man rush knock Purdy off that high RC. We're forward under pressure. Reddick will get, all about it, Marlo. And I think you guys know how I feel about Reddick. And it didn't hurt that he retweeted my video that was about why the Eagles would be a top 3 defense and be so dominant this year. That was pretty awesome. But I love the dude anyway. That's why he was my number 1 target. But look, this is what I was talking about. And people thought he was a middle linebacker. Then he was a defensive end. And it's like, no, dude, a Sam linebacker, strong side linebacker in this multiple scheme defense is completely different than what you're thinking on Madden. So I tried. You guys know I tried my best this offseason. So, hey, let them. What I keep trying to tell people is like, bro, it's over. Like, you were completely wrong about this team. Like, just enjoy this moment right now. Like, please, I'm trying to. Like, I just jump aboard, man. It's fine. Like, we know you didn't know what you're talking about. Like, let's go. So 34-13, Joseph, I'm all about it, my man. 31-17. Oh, I love it. Let's go. So you guys are feeling it. A 14-point win. Let's go. Now let's take a look at this defense, this nasty Niners defense. So you've got Javon Kinlaw, Eric Armstead in the middle there, familiar faces there, and T.Y. McGill, and then on IR, Hassan Ridgeway. But you got Givens' depth there, but also Hurston Davis on IR. But that's a pretty nasty middle. But guess what? We just went against a team with Dexter Lawrence and Leonard Williams. So I really don't care. Not afraid of them. And I'm not afraid of them. And I want to see it in the chat. Run the damn ball regardless. Right down their throats. And then you've got on the outside, of course, Captain. Nope, I'm not even going to say it. Nick Bosa here. And then Samson Ebukam. And look, 2 pretty damn good edge rushers. You've got Hyder, Drake Jackson, Jordan Willis, and Amenahu there as depth. But this is a nasty, nasty edge rusher group. And Jordan Mailata has had his struggles this season. So got to watch out for Bosa there. I think Lane Johnson, obviously, he's an anomaly. I don't even know what he is. But he didn't even give up a pressure last week. So best of luck to Ebukam. Maybe they are stupid and try to line up Bosa against them. We'll see what they do. But to me, you contain those guys. This offense is going to be fine. I think however they try to come at us, this offense, we're going to dictate what happens. So it's perfectly, in my opinion, perfectly fine, whatever you want to try to do. But I still think we'll be able to do everything that we do to anybody else. And it's because of what we're going to get into in a second. But this linebacking core, holy shit, one of the best in the league. Dre Greenlaw, Fred effing Warner, as you see pictured there, and then Azeez Al-Shaair. Dude, these guys mean business. Now, this defense, they will use the nickel corner rather than Al-Shaair, but it's kind of like almost 50-50 there. But look, D'Amico Ryans is a very smart dude, and he is going to mostly run that 4-3. But again, the 4-2 with a nickel, they're going to run a lot of that as well. So when I did the depth chart, I just added it all in. I made it easier for you guys. You'll see here. But, this linebacking crew, holy shit, when it's just Greenlaw and Warner, they get it done, man. Warner, Goddard, this is going to be awesome to watch. We're going to talk about that in the matchups, but that's going to be something so phenomenal. And even Greenlaw and Warner against Miles Sanders, so these guys do everything, and it's going to be really fun to watch. But this secondary that we're jumping into here, this is what I really want to talk about with you. Charvarius Ward, and now Diamador Lenore here is Lenore is somebody that we talked about last year. And I think before the draft that this kid's really talented, and he was given a chance because of injury. And, earlier, actually, this season even, I think it was like week 5 or something, he had to come in. He was the nickel corner, but Jimmy Ward went to nickel, And then you had Gibson at safety. So they had to move some things around. They picked up Ward in free agency this year, but you've got Mosley, who they lost in week 5 on IR. So unfortunate for them. They brought Jason Verrett back again. Old man River, hate that injuries really hindered him, but on IR again this year. But you see depth pieces, Ambry Thomas and Samuel Womack III. But now at safety, as I had mentioned, Tashawn Gibson is starting and hasn't let go of that job since. Jimmy Ward has stuck at nickel corner, whereas he used to play that free safety spot that Gibson is now taking over. But you've got Hufanga there, man, and that kid is effing fun to watch. Had him in fantasy for a couple weeks this year and had no clue who he was at the time. And this dude is effing fun if you watch him. But time to smoke his ass come this Sunday. So him trying to cover Goddard, helping out Warner, all those things. It's going to be fun to watch. Got to watch out for this dude. He is a headhunter, and he will get those interceptions. So a decent secondary, but I really think that is a secondary that the Eagles can attack, take advantage of, and I think they will do that by establishing the run first, and then you allow yourself to just eat them alive with a shotgun RPO. They don't know what's coming at them. And I think A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, now with Dallas Goedert back, that's going to open things up for them, and it's going to be a tough time for them to try to contain all of these pieces. So we shall see. But up next, actually, wait, before I get into the depth chart here, let me show you special teams. We don't want to leave those guys out. Never do that. So Robbie Gould, Mitch Wishnowsky as punter and holder, Tabor Pepper as long snapper, and then their return specialist, Ray McLeod, who talked about the other day. This kid's pretty talented with the ball in his hand, so we got to watch out there. So I don't want to leave out the special teams unit, so got to see it now. I know you were craving it. But Robbie Gould, old Penn Stater, he's used to the cold. No, it's San Francisco, but I think he'll be all right. So if it comes down to kicking, I think he's okay there. But a really great kicker. Can't believe he's still kicking in this effing league. I remember him on the Bears 900 years ago. But go ahead, Robbie. But I think this Eagles team, we're going to put them in a position where not going to need too many field goals here. But we're going to jump into these depth charts in a second here. Let that all get up in there. Okay, now I'm trying to remember. And now you're going to see it all as a whole. So, well, who knows if Amenahu makes a trip? Yeah, I saw that domestic assault thing. So I'll keep you up to date with all those injury reports and everything else that's going on tomorrow with people that could miss. Jimmy, we need one more push. We need 2 more wins. We're going to make it, man. I truly believe, Keon, I'm not going to flip. Never. Not this entire damn season. Trying to take us to the promised land with the good juju here. Let's go. Let's get it, baby. Let's go get it. Hurts will be on his A game, as always. MVP. Got it going out. Yeah, man. This Eagles offense is going to do its thing, as always. Yeah, he really is. But Jake Elliott making himself quite a legend as well. So keep doing your thing, Jake. Hopefully it doesn't come down to field goals, and we can just put up those points. Now, they are a damn good defense. So, Jake, we may need you. Hope you're ready. Now, let's take a look at this as an updated depth chart. And it will be updated throughout the entire week. Whenever there's an injury, all that stuff, you will see it. So here we have 2 guys on IR for him, Trey Lance, Jordan Matthews. But for the rest, everybody is good to go. Now, anybody in red is new to the roster this season. Everybody else in white has been on the roster. So got a new running back, a new right guard, and a new quarterback here. But the rest, we all know, we just talked about. A lot of great weapons, great offensive line. So going to be quite the task for the Philadelphia Eagles here. But hey, you got to be able to shut down the run, make them one-dimensional. And Christian McCaffrey, he can get you, in the passing game too. But the thing is, we've been done pretty damn good against pass-catching running backs. And I talked about that. We kept Saquon in check last week. We kept Kamara 2 weeks before that, even Breida in their pointless game. I mean, we've been doing pretty well. So something you need to clean up. There were some games where we had some struggles against that, but I think, this team has proven they have gotten much better shutting down the run and running backs as a whole. So I love it. And I think this defense is just better than the 49ers offense. And again, they're great. They've got great weapons, but so do we. Now on to the 49ers defense. And this is a damn good defense. We all know that. Number 1 in points and yards. So they are definitely going to bring their A game, but I'll be real with you. I feel the Eagles offense is better than their defense. And look, they're going to come at us. We've talked about this. And They, don't need to blitz too much. D'Amico Ryans is a genius. You'll see whatever they try to bring at us. I think they're going to blitz us. Think they will come at us because of Jalen Hurts. They have had their issues with running quarterbacks, as we've mentioned in the last few days. So, look, D'Amico Ryans is no slouch. He is going to do everything he can, whether that's spying someone. He will make sure they have containment and hope to keep containment on Jalen Hurts. He knows he can get killed by Jalen Hurts with his legs, not just the arm. But you've got some damn good linemen to try to accomplish that and some real damn good linebackers to back them up as well. Then that secondary we just talked about, Lenoir, Ward, and then Jimmy Ward there. Then you talk about Gibson and Hufanga at safety. So that's their defense, and it's a damn good one. And here is the special teams unit to close it out in case you forgot. But Ray McLeod is their return specialist. He has done it all year, punt returning, kick returning. But if anything were to happen, you do have guys like Ayuk. Use the young man Danny Gray or McCaffrey or Samuel if you choose. So, ladies and gentlemen, that was the updated depth chart, and that was Behind Enemy Lines, getting to know the San Francisco 49ers, the Philadelphia Eagles NFC Championship opponent, come this Sunday at 3 o'clock. So, hope you're effing excited because I don't know how I'm going to make it to effing Sunday. I guess I just keep making these shows because, my God, I cannot take it. I need it. But, look, tomorrow we'll be back 4:30. We will be talking about the initial injury report for both the Eagles and the 49ers. So you'll know everything that's going on with Avonte Maddox, anything that's going on with the 49ers. You'll know all of their injuries, and I'll keep you up to date throughout the week with all that stuff. Thursday, you'll have an updated injury report. You'll have the top 10 matchups. Friday, you'll get the game status report. So anybody out, questionable, all that stuff around 4:30, 5 o'clock on Friday. And then around 8 o'clock on Friday, Fan Friday, where you, the fans, tune in, ask the questions. And some of you members, you will be able to ask the questions. I make graphics, and then the fans get to answer while I answer. So looking forward to that. And then, of course, Saturday, practice squad elevations, any updates to the game status report and depth chart. So we're going to be full here all week, ladies and gentlemen, getting you rowdy. And, of course, Sunday, pre-gaming. Let's go. Hope you're effing excited, man, because these walls aren't ready. I'll be real with you. Jake's pretty damn good as well. Hell yeah. But Robbie's been playing for 936 years. So go ahead, man. Yo, my man Vector, let's go. I was just about to roll out. Dude, if you rewatch this video, there is boatloads of information here. I would love to hear your thoughts. And I always tell you guys, if you rewatch this when it's not live, just comment, man. I will always continue the conversation. We don't have to be live to be talking birds, baby. And especially now that it's the NFC Championship, I know some of you guys are getting on psycho level with me where you can't sleep. You're up at 4 a.m. You're just talking birds every effing day for your life. And well, that's been my life for 36 years. So let's go. But my man Vector, I truly appreciate you tuning in, dude. And if you do rewatch it, I hope you get some information we went through. We talked about everything you see here on the side. And I included the Eagles stats and all that stuff as well to give you a comparison. But hope you're having a great night, great week so far. Yeah, Ray McLeod is a pretty cool name. If my nephew Taylor is watching this, Ray Dinkle, if you remember that from 15 years ago. Holy hell. But yeah, interesting name. And the kid is a pretty talented one. So we're going to have to watch out for that. Tim sounds, well, yeah, Jim would sound pretty dumb too, I guess. Right. But hey, ladies and gentlemen, I love you all. I got to get rolling out here. If you need anything, please feel free to reach out. If you would love to continue this conversation as much as I would, please feel free to comment down below. Love to hear your thoughts. And I've been getting a lot of comments from 49ers fans, more than pretty much any other team this year, which is insane, but I love it. You know, you guys are all giving me your thoughts, opinions. Let's go. I'd love to hear it. So whoever you are, wherever you are, I truly appreciate you. You got anything from this? Do me a favor. Hit that like button. You can always subscribe. Join us live, talking some birds. But until next time, that is tomorrow at 4:30 with the initial injury report for the 49ers and Eagles. I am Jimmy Smith, and this is On the Road to Victory. You all have yourselves a great night. Stay safe out there. And, of course, as always, go Birds!